Hello, my friends. Brian King here with another installment of A Cup of Focus. I am your resident ADHD coach, and I read this wonderful article this morning that was shared with me by a friend that talked about the tendency of some people with ADHD to lie to such an extent that it becomes a pattern, it becomes a big part of how they show up, how they interact with people. And it's to the point where they can be very convincing with their lying and almost appear as though they believe what they're saying is the truth. And I honestly think there's a misunderstanding about what's really happening for the person with ADHD. I don't think it's that they believe what they're saying is true and actually don't know that they're lying, which is what some people could take away from that article. My takeaway as somebody who lied like crazy when I was younger and have a son that lies even about little stuff, and I'm sure there are people in your life that you know, that you've seen at least in the moment, that they will stand by a lie even though you've called them out, you've given them proof, and they still stick to their story. You might ask yourself, what the heck is going on? Does this person not know what the truth is? Does this person not know they're lying? Well, yeah, they do know, but here's what I think is really happening behind the scenes. What I think is going on is that this is a person that is so ashamed of the fact that they are so imperfect, making so many mistakes, so disruptive to other people's lives. And this is based on the feedback they get. Constant criticism. They end up being so ashamed of the truth that they want the lie to be true. That what they are trying to tell you that, no, I actually remembered. No, I actually did exactly what you told me to do. I didn't mess it up and make assumptions because I tuned out through half of what you were explaining and were too embarrassed to speak up and say, hey, could you repeat that? So I proceeded as though what I came up with in my head was actually what you wanted. Because I so badly want it to be true that I didn't space out, that I didn't forget, that I didn't once again failure to stay focused long enough to show you that I actually care about what you're saying. So I have to make up this story to convince myself that all these other challenges don't exist, that I'm actually the person you want me to be, that I'm normal, that I'm just like everybody else, that I fit in, that I'm one of you. I want to believe that so much that I create a story that I'm trying to convince myself is true. And when I'm telling these lies, I'm hoping you will buy in to the idea that I'm just like you, that I don't have all these other problems that make me less than you. A lot of this lying is just raging insecurity. It isn't a desire to deceive. It isn't a desire to manipulate, even though it can seem like that's what's going on. But all of it is in service of trying to get you to support me in believing that what I'm saying is true. So what's the solution? You call somebody out and say, you know what? It doesn't seem to me that you ever make mistakes. You always have a ready-made answer whenever I or somebody else suggests that you made a mistake. And they might respond defensively and say, well, I make mistakes all the time, but not as many as you. That's another tactic. That's a deflection called scorekeeping. Yeah, well, I made a mistake, but you made a lot more than I did. Trying to get rid of the accusation or the question or the feeling of inadequacy. But the bottom line is, anybody like this, if this resembles a tendency you have in certain moments or constantly, the solution here is you really need to face your demons. I've written a lot on the importance of introspection. It happens to be an ability that I've refined over the past 30 years. And if you've read anything that I write, you can tell that I go really deep, when I'm looking inside myself or the experience of somebody else. And it's important to do that work and allow yourself to take that journey if you're really going to learn that you are worthy of being loved and included and accepted, even if you're quirky and glitchy. It doesn't mean that there isn't room for you to grow and develop more skills that make you more effective in those situations. Because let's face it, unchecked ADHD gets in the way of connecting with other people effectively, even if they accept you as you are. Yeah, come here with your interruptions and your impulsivity and your tangents and everything. We're still going to love you. And even if you were surrounded by people that embraced all of that about you, those things would still get in the way of you being able to hear them, respond effectively, process what's being said to you, really take it in and make use of it. The ADHD gets in the way of all of that unless you improve some of your skills. And improving those skills don't change who you are. I'm sure they saw one of the cats. It doesn't change who you are. It's not admitting that you're less than or that you're inferior. It's admitting that there are some areas within you that you would like to be better. You'd like to get better results. It's why people lift weights or exercise or study a particular subject until they've got a degree of expertise in it. Because they do it well and they want to do it even better. And there's no admission of inferiority or failure simply because you want to get better at something. So I hope this explanation has been helpful. I just wanted to put that out there, some food for thought. I plan on writing more about this later to kind of tease it out and go a little deeper with it. But I wanted to give you this to think about in the meantime. So please leave me some comments or questions if you want to discuss this. And please share it with anybody you think could benefit from it. Until we talk again, this has been Brian. Enjoy your big cup of joe this morning. And thanks for being you.